A room full of wealthy guests burst into cruel laughter as a frightened waitress was deliberately assigned to serve the city's most feared crime boss. Everyone expected her to panic, make one mistake, and lose her job forever. But only seconds after she gently signed a simple greeting with her hands, the deaf man looked up in complete shock, and the entire restaurant fell silent. If you believe in kindness, forgiveness, hope, and second chances, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share this story with someone who needs encouragement, and subscribe to our channel so you can become part of our growing family. At 26, Elara Collins had learned that poverty often made people invisible. After losing both of her parents within the same year, she worked double shifts at one of the most exclusive restaurants in Boston while caring for her younger brother, who had been born profoundly deaf. Because of him, American Sign Language had become Elara's second language long before she learned how to balance silver trays or memorize expensive wine lists. She never told anyone about it because no customer had ever needed those skills. To her coworkers, she was simply the quiet waitress with worn shoes and an old handbag stitched together more times than anyone could count. Most of the senior waiters enjoyed making Elara the target of practical jokes. They mocked her humble clothes, laughed whenever customers left small tips, and constantly assigned her the hardest tables. Their manager noticed the bullying but remained silent because the restaurant's busiest employees brought in the highest profits. Elara accepted the humiliation every day because quitting would mean losing the only income keeping her brother in school. One bright afternoon, an unusual reservation appeared on the schedule. The restaurant owner himself arrived early, nervously instructing everyone that an extremely powerful businessman would soon be dining there. Rumors spread through the kitchen within minutes. Some claimed he controlled shipping companies across Europe. Others whispered that he had once been connected to organized crime before turning legitimate years earlier. Everyone simply called him Victor Hale, a mysterious billionaire whose influence reached people few dared to question. One fact was certain: Victor was completely deaf after surviving an explosion decades earlier. Instead of assigning the restaurant's most experienced server, several coworkers exchanged cruel smiles. They convinced the manager that nervous little Elara should handle the table alone. They secretly believed she would embarrass herself trying to communicate, giving them another reason to ridicule her afterward. As a sleek black car stopped outside in the afternoon sunlight, conversations throughout the dining room faded. Victor stepped inside wearing a perfectly tailored charcoal suit. Though his silver hair hinted at age, his posture remained strong and confident. Several security officers followed quietly behind him. The room watched as he took his seat near the large windows. Elara's hands trembled while carrying the menu toward him. Then something remarkable happened. Instead of speaking, she smiled warmly and greeted him in flawless American Sign Language. Victor froze. His serious expression melted into disbelief before transforming into the first genuine smile anyone in the restaurant had ever seen. The co-workers who had planned her humiliation stared in confusion. For nearly 10 minutes, Victor and Elara communicated naturally through graceful signs. She patiently explained the menu, recommended dishes based on his preferences, and even joked gently about the chef's enormous desserts. Victor laughed openly, a sound so unexpected that several guests turned to watch. The owner hurried across the dining room, assuming something had gone terribly wrong. Instead, Victor signed a request that stunned everyone. He wanted only Elara to serve his table for the rest of the afternoon. As the meal continued, Victor noticed something beyond her remarkable signing. Every movement reflected quiet kindness rather than obligation. She never appeared intimidated by his wealth. She treated him exactly as she treated every customer, with dignity and patience. When dessert arrived, Victor asked how she had learned sign language. Elara explained that her younger brother had never heard a single sound since birth. Learning to sign had never been a choice, it had simply become the language of love inside their small family. She also admitted that people often underestimated those who communicated differently. Victor's eyes filled with emotion. He revealed that after losing his hearing many years earlier, countless business associates had spoken about him as though he were incapable of understanding anything. Some even mocked him directly, assuming silence meant ignorance. Only a handful of people had ever looked beyond his disability. For the first time in years, lunch lasted nearly 3 hours. Watching from across the restaurant, the jealous coworkers became increasingly angry. They whispered that Alara must be flirting for larger tips or seeking favors from an influential customer. As Victor prepared to leave, he thanked Alara through sign language before quietly placing a folded card into her hand. She assumed it was simply a business card. After the restaurant closed that afternoon, the manager called Alara into his office. Instead of praise, she received another lecture. Several co-workers had falsely accused her of neglecting other tables and behaving unprofessionally. Without asking for her explanation, the manager suspended her for 1 week without pay. Heartbroken, Alara returned home wondering how she would buy groceries. That evening she finally opened the folded card. Inside was not a business card but an invitation to visit Hale Foundation headquarters the following morning. Confused, she almost ignored it. Still, with nothing left to lose, she arrived at the modern glass building the next afternoon. Victor personally welcomed her. He explained that his charitable foundation had spent years searching for someone capable of leading programs supporting deaf children and families. Millions had been donated to schools, but almost none of the executives truly understood the daily challenges those families faced. Victor believed Alara did. Instead of offering charity, he offered opportunity. He invited her to become community outreach director after several weeks of training, promising fair pay, health insurance, and flexible hours so she could continue caring for her brother. Alara burst into tears. Nobody had ever looked beyond her uniform long enough to notice her abilities. Meanwhile, back at the restaurant, business unexpectedly collapsed. Word quietly spread that Victor Hale would never again host business meetings there after discovering how employees had intentionally humiliated a hardworking waitress. Several corporate clients followed his decision, choosing other restaurants instead. The owner investigated internal security footage. He watched every cruel joke, every false accusation, every moment of workplace bullying. One by one, the employees responsible lost their positions. The manager who ignored the harassment resigned shortly afterward. Months passed. Alara transformed the foundation into one of the country's most respected organizations supporting deaf education, employment opportunities, and family counseling. Instead of speaking for deaf communities, she worked alongside them, ensuring their own voices guided every decision. Her younger brother flourished as well. Through scholarships funded by the foundation, he enrolled in a prestigious school where every teacher communicated fluently in sign language. Victor often visited classrooms without announcing himself. Watching children laugh freely reminded him why success meant little unless it improved someone else's future. One sunny afternoon, the foundation organized its largest community celebration yet. Hundreds of families gathered in a city park filled with music interpreted through visual performances, children's games, educational workshops, and volunteers from every background. During the ceremony, Victor stepped onto the stage beside Alara. He explained that many people once judged him because he could not hear. Others judged Alara because she looked poor. Both had been underestimated for entirely different reasons. Yet kindness had connected them before prejudice could divide them. The audience rose in heartfelt applause. Alara looked across the crowd and spotted several former restaurant customers who remembered her warm smile long before anyone knew her story. She realized something beautiful. The people who once tried to humiliate her had unknowingly introduced her to the opportunity that changed her life forever. Sometimes cruelty opens the very door that kindness was waiting behind. Before we finish, we'd love to hear from you. Have you ever seen someone underestimated because of their appearance, disability, or financial situation? Share your experience in the comments. Your story might inspire someone who needs hope today. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, leave a meaningful comment, share it with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss another emotional journey. As the afternoon sun settled over the smiling families, Victor and Alara understood a truth that money alone could never buy. Real strength is not measured by power, wealth, or reputation. It is measured by the compassion we show to people the world overlooks. One kind gesture, one respectful conversation, or one moment of genuine understanding can change an entire life. And sometimes, the people others call weak are the very ones strong enough to transform the world around them.